Okay, can you break down the rotation for the weekend?
Yeah, what we've kind of decided on is we're going to go Garrett Stroh on Friday. He'll get the ball. We'll go Colby Gomez on Saturday, and Kate Povich will go on Sunday for us.
How tough was that decision? What went into that?
Really, we had a pretty good idea going back to the fall of who was going to be some of the guys we figured we could count on to start. Kind of turn the lineup over, build some pitch counts and those type of things. And those guys have been the most consistent for us, kind of coming back. And we're really, as far as the order goes, Stroh's got the most experience. He's a guy that's a fifth-year senior. He's been there and done that before. So, other than that, it's just go out there and get us off to a good start for all three of them.
You've liked Garrett ever since you got here, haven't you?
Yeah, Gareth he's a very diligent worker. He's he knows what he's doing. I mean, he knows what his strengths are as a pitcher. He knows what his weaknesses are. He knows how to set up hitters. So he's kind of got a pretty good feel for what he's trying to do to attack hitters. And I think he's a guy that can also be very efficient, so he can get you deep into a ball game, and that's really what you want on Friday night. I think his stuff plays up too, because it may not be 94, but he can set up hitters to get some better perceived velocity than 88, 90.
I know he threw a lot this summer. Did he pitch at all for you guys in the fall, or did you just shut him down immediately?
Yeah, so we saw him a couple times. He threw one inning in the Wichita State, and I think we pretty much shut him down after that. So I kind of told him at that moment, I said, we've pretty much seen what we needed to see, and his numbers from the summer were pretty astounding, honestly. So didn't really need to see a whole lot. Wanted to get him 100% healthy to kind of see him again at this time of year, and he's shown us exactly kind of what we thought we'd get.
You guys got Povich pretty quickly after you got here.
Yeah.
What was it about him that kind of attracted you in the first place, and then what did he show you in the fall?
The 10-1 record was pretty impressive in junior college. He had good command. He didn't walk a lot of guys. He had, a strikeout an inning. So, and he had like 8 complete games. So, he's been pretty efficient in his outings in junior college. So the numbers stood out first. And then kind of once you lay eyes on him, you see a projectable left-hander that's 6'4". He probably seemed like he weighed about 110 pounds at the time, but he's put on some good weight, and he's just a guy that feels confident throwing, really 4 pitches for a strike.
What are the positives about a 3-game series to start the season as opposed to 4?
Yeah, I like that in that we don't have to have a 4th starter right away. We don't necessarily have to stretch multiple guys out that maybe not quite ready to do that. So, and it's more realistic to what a regular season's like also. So I like the 3-game sets, and I know that means you may have to play a 4-game set a little bit later, but that's okay to me. I think I'd rather do that as we kind of get our pitching a little bit more lined up.
How much are you and the guys kind of just chomping at the bit to really get this thing rolling?
Yeah, we're all excited. We've had 3 weeks to get prepared, and our guys have been very focused, and it's been nice to get out on the field, kind of see some different things. You're in a controlled environment in practice. You don't always, you can get a little bit overconfident at times and kind of where you're at. So being on the field, again, kind of exposing them to some, things that they're going to have to clean up on game day. We're chomping at the bit at it. We got one more day here to really get after it and get some things accomplished, but we're excited.
How long do you think it'll take to get pitching sorted out? Not only from a rotation, but just getting the bullpen where you want it and things like that.
Hopefully one weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, that in a perfect world, that's kind of where we're at. We don't really have the luxury of kind of finding our way through it. We really we got to buckle down at game 1 and game 2 and game 3, and hopefully by the first weekend we've got a pretty good idea, throwing some guys in the fire of who's going to be dependable, who's going to throw strikes, who's going to be able to bounce back out of the bullpen. So I do feel like we've got a pretty good number of guys that can get guys out, but again, we can't really ease our way into it and just think maybe by March we'll have it figured out. It's an inexact science. We don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like we've got a pretty good idea of who our top 8 are right now.
Is anybody not available this weekend for you? I know Blessy maybe is still working like that. Or?
Everybody will be available that's traveling. So I think we'll take 13 pitchers, and everybody will be available.
You have on a strict pitch count?
Yeah, we're not gonna go out there and throw 120 pitches the first time out, but they've been built up to, hopefully get us efficiently through 5 or 6 innings is kind of what we're hoping for. So.
Well, you've talked about the schedule, especially in February, being tough start. What can you do as a coach to keep guys from looking ahead or looking at the big picture of the schedule and focused on kind of that day to day?
Yeah, that's what our focus has been. Number one since we've been here is like try again in our practice settings, trying to make the guys as uncomfortable as we can. So they have to be locked in. They have to be ready for practice because they don't know what's going to get thrown at them necessarily. So if you're not focused on those days, you really get exposed individually. We get exposed as a team. We've been harping on that since day one. And again, you're dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds, so you just got to try to keep them on their toes. And we like to have fun with it too, though. There's going to be failure involved, and that's what the season's all about, is how you bounce back from that.
What do you do to cause discomfort? Like, what's an example?
Well, you're outside when it's 38 degrees and a little bit windy and maybe some light snow going on. But no, it's really a lot of it's some situations that are going to come up in the game. So
Right.
in other words, not necessarily controlling the drill in terms of, hey, here's a bunt, it's going to the third base side. It's, hey, it's a runner at first, nobody out. It could be anything that happens in practice right here. Be on your toes. So you're going to fail, you're going to screw up, you're going to throw to the wrong base, you're going to do some things where you're going to have to go, oh, well, if that comes up in the game, I'm going to know how to correct it at this point. So the uncomfortable part of it comes from the failure. For us as coaches, the easiest thing to do is just roll through practice and think, well, hey, everything's going great, and you look great, everybody's feeling like a 10, but we know that's not how the game goes. So we just try to get them in some situations where they've got to make calls on their toes,
Got it.
and then fail or succeed based off of that.
Got it.
With as many guys as you have back in your lineup that have college at bats, do you feel like you're going to be able to do a little bit more offensively right from the get-go than you would be otherwise?
I think so. I think we've got some veterans, like you said, that have been in college baseball, and this is a little bit different system for them, but they're smart guys. We've been implementing this stuff since basically October with them after we saw them in the fall. So I think they're going to be ready, just to knowing the signs, knowing the system, kind of knowing what we expect from a base running standpoint. We practice base running at the front of almost every practice, so that's going to be a big part of our game.
What stands out about Baylor?
Baylor's well coached. I know that. Just being down there, I know Steve Rodriguez. He's got a great staff too. They're always going to play defense. You're just going to have to go beat them, and they return a lot of guys on the mound. They've got a lot of guys with experience that way. They're going to play catch on the infield, and I think their offensive staff does a great job too of kind of putting pressure on. And they hit over 300 as a team last year, and they got some guys to replace, but they've got good coaches and they do a good job recruiting, and I got a lot of respect for their staff and how they do it.
Are you aware if or how the suspensions down there will affect the series this weekend?
Don't know, not sure.
Where's the confidence level with what this lineup can accomplish with so many guys returning with lots of big experience?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that have played college baseball before, and you can't replace that experience at this level where you've got a guy that's played in a hostile environment on a Friday night against a Friday night pitcher. You can't really replace that experience. So we're confident. We're confident in the freshmen too, that we feel like they're going to put out there, that they can go out there and get the job done just as well as the older guys can.
You guys have been outside quite a bit here in the preseason, Will?
Well, we got out on Saturday. We had a scrimmage. We've been out this entire week. Yesterday, it said it was 45. It didn't feel quite that warm out here, but this will be the third day this week, so we'll take it anytime we can get it.
Is that to stress the guys or just to get accompanied to being outside and seeing the ball fly the right way?
All of it. It's just the outfielders being able to see, fly balls. Base runners, we don't get those reps in terms of like balls off the bat. It's infielders being able to take balls off the bat, out here as opposed to taking fungo. It's a different feel, and the dirt too. Just being able to get on the dirt is huge.